You are listening to ChartingWealth.com for Friday, the 10th of March, 2017. We see stocks up for the day, bonds and gold down. Let's jump into SPY. That is, of course, the Spiders S&P 500 ETF. What do we see going on? Well, we can see on our weekly chart some weakness forming. We don't usually start off there, but it's the first time in many weeks, in about 6 weeks, that we have seen weakness in the charts on the S&P 500. Of course, we have had a great run up since right around Thanksgiving of last year. So some weakness. When we look at the 2-day chart, we can see 2.5 2-day candles. We just have formation of the first half of the latest 2-day candle. It will end on Friday, but we have 3 down candles getting very close to a crossover going down on the price percent oscillator. We see that our derivative oscillator has lost a lot of energy, so keep an eye on that. It's already we've seen price cross through the weekly trend line. It's already blown way through. That's been 3 days ago, the 2-day trend line. So we're continuing to see the S&P 500 trundle down. It may be at the close of business on Friday, we move our 2-day vertical crossover line all the way over to the 10th. We shall see. We don't have that confirmed yet. Still on our, well, let's look briefly what happened intraday. We saw that started off down, slid sideways, and then dropped over at 2 and 4 in the afternoon. The 2-hour chart has been moving down pretty substantially since it crossed over going down in the afternoon Thursday, the 2nd of March. So we'll continue to keep an eye, see just when we have our next weekly vertical crossover. Hasn't happened yet, may be a while yet, but could surprise you. Now let's keep an eye on what's going on the Qs. We do have a confirmed vertical crossover. Be nice to make sure it continues to move down. It did happen even though the Qs were up for the day, and of course that's the NASDAQ 100, the tech stocks. The first half of the 2-day candle, we see basically a green spinning top, almost a doji, lots of indecision, been sliding sideways the last 5.5 days. And really, since it topped out on the 2nd, the 2-day candle ending on Thursday, the 2nd of March, we've seen the NASDAQ 100 slide sideways. Again, up a little bit for the day, but because of the downward movement over those last 2-day candles, it was enough to switch the, well, not the derivative oscillator yet, but the PPO, the price percent oscillator, over with a crossover. So we shall see if that's sustained yet. Perhaps it will be. We'll really watch the markets tomorrow, that is on Friday, as we're recording this podcast for Friday. We look at our 2-hour chart. We really see the sideways slide. We saw the market open some down in the early morning, up around noon, and then down at 2 and strongly down at 4 in the afternoon. That's where we are on the Qs. Back to our 2-day chart, and again, still confirmed weekly vertical crossover all the way back on the 5th of January or so. What do we have going on TLT? Down strong. These are bonds. Now we have a confirmed vertical crossover. That happened back on the candle ending on the 8th, and even more down movement on the 9th. We had our weekly vertical crossover going up just a while back in February, right at the beginning of February. Market up nicely, trunged down for a little while, popped back up to its highest high somewhere around the 28th of February, and after that started moving over and down. Will we have a confirmed weekly vertical crossover going down? We might. Don't know if it'll happen on Friday, but it might happen over the course of the next week. So we shall just wait and see. We'll call it when and if we see it. So let's continue to move through. What do we have going on with gold? Gold down 0.15%. Another confirmed 2-day vertical crossover on the 8th again, just like with bonds, and gold continuing to move down strongly. If we look at our weekly chart, we can see that it's still much further away than we see on bonds as far as a weekly vertical crossover going down. We shall see if indeed that happens. It's sure served us well on the weekly vertical crossover going up. And again, don't forget, they're inverse funds. When we have these weekly vertical crossovers going down, we're going to practice making money when gold and the S&P and the Qs and TLT bonds, whatever it is going down, we're going to practice making money in the inverse. That's what it's all about, is making money when the markets are going up or down. That's how we train to be sophisticated investors and traders. Now remember, we are not a stock calling service. We are an education firm, and we want you to go to any of the online brokers, whether it's TD Ameritrade, Schwab, Options House, Options Express, you name it. Go to any of those sites and any of the others. Set up a virtual trading account. Start following us every day and practicing with us. This is how you get good. I'm telling you, I love the stock market. It is so fascinating to watch. It is one of the most fascinating things that I do in life. I don't get into sports. I love to work out and stay healthy, but the stock market is amazing. It is just phenomenal to mess with these charts for a few minutes on a daily basis, to learn how these charts work, and then to be able to take that knowledge and use it to provide for yourself and for your family. Now, we want you to practice with us every day. It only takes 10 minutes to fill out that daily market worksheet. Then once a week, you listen to our weekly comprehensive review and forecast. You fill out that weekly market worksheet. So that's 4 days with the daily market worksheet, 1 day with the weekly market worksheet, about 10 minutes a day as you listen and fill out that information. Why do you do that? Because there is truly something dynamic and magical about taking pen to paper as you listen and study what we're talking about, and then you see it on the daily and the weekly market worksheets. If you care ever about understanding how the stock market works, this is how you do it. You can sit around all day. You can listen to Bloomberg. You can read the Wall Street Journal. You can listen to CNBC. It's all exciting, and there are ads, and there's all sorts of talk and gibber. But if you really want to understand what's going on in the world, you follow price movement, price flows. You look at the derivative oscillator, the price percent oscillator, which is the MACD by another name. It's actually the supercharged MACD, the moving average convergence divergence indicator. You understand what Bollinger Bands are, exponential moving averages, linear regression lines. You start following all these things and paying attention to them and practicing on a daily basis. My friends, it might take some time, but that's what you have to spend to figure out how this works. You can go read all the books you want to read, watch all the TV shows, listen to everybody, but until you spend the time with us day in and day out on these charts, figuring out, practice trading, getting good at this, and you will eventually. Some of the best traders I know have high school diplomas, if that, but they pay attention. They've practiced. They've understood. They've been in the trenches long enough to actually garner and get this knowledge. The market will not free up her riches to you easily, but you can, if you persevere, you can figure this out. I promise you, you can. And I so appreciate you being with us. You want to have the information we've talked about, daily market worksheet, weekly market worksheet, the layout that we use at freestockcharts.com. Again, the operative word there is free. You want all this information and our How to Read a Stock Chart video. It's easy to do. You go to chartingwealth.com, you put in your first name, your email address, and you sign up. And then every day we send that information to you. There are links to all of that information in our email, and you get our daily video. What's more, what's easier than that? It just depends on you using it every day. There's a million things you can do. You can go to bed early. You can go watch a movie. You can hang out. You can do any number of things. You can eat popcorn and forget. 10 minutes a day you have to set aside. If you don't want to do that, I hope you just enjoy us as entertainment then. But if you are serious, if you're going to dedicate yourself, where else can you spend 10 minutes a day to potentially supercharge your life giving you retirement choices and everything else. Once you put all this knowledge together and you practice, we do not give you investment advice. We do not give you a stock calling service. We give you training. And when you get good at it, you learn from us, you learn from other people, you learn from books, you put it all together, you develop your own personalized way of doing things. Then, and only then, when you've gotten really good at this and you can practice trade successfully one after another, after another, after another, then and only then do you put your precious resources on the line. And that's a decision you make. We don't make it for you. Folks, thanks so much for being with us. We are more than happy to help you in this path, on this path, and we want to. Go to Charting Wealth, sign up. If you appreciate what we do, by all means, please subscribe at iTunes. Give us a 5-star rating. Say something nice about us. You guys have made us as high in the world. I checked last week. In just stock trading, we are the number 9 podcast in the world. We want to, of course, go to number 1. So if you go there and subscribe and give us a 5-star rating, you'll keep moving us up. We also would love it. We're getting close to 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. And please go there, subscribe to us also. And just thank you again for all you do for us. Let us know what else we can do for you. Great training at the website. You have questions, problems, concerns, always email us, cw@chartingwealth.com. God bless. Take care. We're getting ready at the close of business on Friday to do our next comprehensive review and forecast. So stay tuned for that. God bless. Take care. From Charting Wealth,